Well, hello everybody out there in the land. It's ChrisMageLegacy.com. Another exciting episode of Topher's Log. Now, if you don't know what Topher's Log is, you can go back, you can watch the first couple episodes. Just me going old school this year, just getting on camera, talking about the rumors, speculation. What are people talking about leading into Halloween Horror Nights 29? And there was something that was kind of a hot button topic this week amongst the interwebs. And it's kind of timely because it sort of ties into something that I talked about a couple weeks ago. You might remember, or if you go back, I forgot which video it was, but I talked about how people ask me all the time, what properties do I want to see come to the event? I tell people all the time that most of the properties that I've wanted to see come to the event have already come to the event. There is one property that I will probably never see in my lifetime, or I wouldn't say my lifetime, but I'm not going to see anytime soon, I don't believe, and that is the X-Files. It's my favorite television show of all time. But occasionally I will write my own Halloween Horror Nights houses, my own house treatments. As recently as last year, I've written a couple X-Files house treatments, but I wrote one last year called You Will Believe, and it deals with Mulder and Scully investigating a series of Bigfoot attacks up in the Pacific Northwest. Yes, Bigfoot has been a big topic of conversation this week amongst the internet. So let's go Sqatchin, shall we? Is Halloween Horror Nights going to go Sqatchin? Does anyone remember that show? What was it? Finding Bigfoot? Was that on the Travel Channel? The crazy guy, hunting. Is it Finding Bigfoot or Hunting Bigfoot? But there was a guy on there. He used to refer to hunting Bigfoots as going Sqatchin. They're going Sqatchin. I still find that hilarious. I'm easily amused. But yeah, so. A prospect of a Bigfoot house at Halloween Horror Nights, obviously I've thought about it before, whether it ties into the X-Files or not. I've thought about having Bigfoot come to the event. It is a concept that is ripe for mining. This sort of rampant or crazy, murderous Bigfoot or Bigfooty. What's the plural for Bigfoot? Big feet. Big feet. Going and perhaps wreaking havoc amongst campers or whatever out in the woods, carnage, all that good stuff. Of course, we had Attack of the Swamp Yeti last year. Attack of the Swamp Yeti was inside Slaughter Cinema. I don't like the idea really of taking Attack of the Swamp Yeti and making it its own house. I think if you're gonna do Bigfoot, then go and just do plain Bigfoot. Don't put like your little sort of spin on it, because the Swamp Yeti isn't exactly like any kind of quote-unquote real, Bigfoot cryptid. Not to sound too nerdy about this, but you've got the Yeti, you've got the Sasquatch or Bigfoot, you've got the skunk ape, of course, which supposedly lives down here in the south. But there are no swamp yetis. But I guess you can sort of look at the skunk ape and say, maybe that's a swamp yeti. But there are no like actual. I'm talking like these things are real, but there's no like swamp yeti, amongst the cryptids. At least I've never heard of a swamp yeti before, aside from the skunk ape. I think the skunk ape is like the only swamp yeti out there that I can think of. But yeah, so like I think if they were to do like their own Bigfoot thing, just do Bigfoot. I wouldn't be like totally like against doing a slaughter, like taking the Swamp Yeti and giving him his own, or Attack of the Swamp Yeti and giving that its own house. There's this notion with doing a Bigfoot house that you can tie that into what Universal did back in 2013, which was their Urban Legends franchise, which of course was Urban Legends La Llorona. They were supposedly going to start, a lot of air quotes in this episode of the video, air quotes. But they were supposedly going to start doing, their Urban Legends thing with 2012. This is what happens when you live in an apartment. People walking around upstairs like big feet. I got Bigfoot upstairs. But yeah, so they had in 2012 they were supposedly doing a house, its own urban legend in its own right. My light went out behind me. Is it Bigfoot? Is it the Sasquatch? I don't know. But my light went out behind me. But yeah, so they were doing their own sort of house based on supposedly based on the Chupacabra out there, which what would have been Soundstage 44 when they were hastily told to vacate the premises, after they had started putting up sets. And then a year later, we had Transformers: The Ride. In that spot. So yeah, so like this notion, it's nothing foreign. They've done their own, or had ideas to do sort of houses based on cryptids, but doing like an urban legend franchise, I think would actually be kind of cool. Maybe go back to that idea, that they had with La Llorona, like urban legends, Attack of the Swamp Yeti. But although it would make more sense, like if you wanted to take it a step further, in terms of franchises, you can do Slaughter Cinema presents Attack of the Swamp Yeti or whatever, if you're going to go that route, or just Attack of the Swamp Yeti. But franchise-based things, I think are it's nice when Halloween Horror Nights does that. Whether it's Fairy Tales or the Body Collectors or whatever. I mean, those are their own sort of franchises that they can mine from for original content. So whether it's Urban Legends, Bigfoot or whatever, or Slaughter Cinema presents Attack of the Swamp Yeti, that'd be cool. Although having the Slaughter Cinema in the title 2 years in a row might piss some people off. The fans tend to not like that type of stuff when you repeat things. They don't like that stuff. So I mean, like if they wanted to go back to the whole, urban legend thing, I think that'd be pretty cool. Like urban, because they haven't done it, since 2013. Yes, we have La Llorona, or did they come out already? Or it's coming out, the La Llorona, is it the Legend of La Llorona? Is that what it's called? I don't believe that La Llorona is coming this year. Yeah, I could be wrong. But hint, hint, wink, wink, wink. I would not put my chips on a La Llorona house coming this year. Nevertheless, Urban Legends Bigfoot sounds fine, or Urban Legends Attack of the Sasquatch, or Night of the Sasquatch, Night of the Big Feet. Night of the Big Feet, whatever. That'd be fine with that. It is like I said, it is a character or a property that is sort of in a way ripe for mining, that they haven't exploited, stuff like that, like the whole cryptids or the whole cryptozoological sort of side of the paranormal is actually very interesting, and there are quite a few monsters that you can mine from that section of the of paranormal research, and of course Bigfoot is probably one of the biggest. So why not mine from it, And like I said, it does. I wrote a treatment last year for a house based on Bigfoot. So or based around Bigfoot, I should say. And of course, dealing with the X-Files. But you don't need the X-Files to deal with Bigfoot. Bigfoot is an equal opportunity cryptozoological creature. So you can, it doesn't have to be tied to one specific thing. So that's it for this week, guys. I would leave you with the message again to keep your ears open this week, because you never know what could happen. Sometimes the best laid plans go awry. Things don't exactly fall into line when they want to fall into line, but anything can happen, like I said last week. So keep your ears open, keep your ears to the ground, or your ears to the Twitters, because things are coming, and they're going to be coming quickly, or sooner than people think, I believe. That's it for me this week, and I will talk to you guys next week. Go Sqatchin'.